While the 98% were distracted by a 4-day government shutdown, the real heist was happening in the dark. Today at 1:30 PM GMT, the data blackout ends. But if you think this is just a jobs report, you're already missing the point. Welcome to Money and Power. I'm glad you're here. It's Wednesday, February the 11th, 2026, and we're standing at a massive crossroads. If you've been following this channel, if you're part of the 2% club, you know that we don't look at the headline. We look at the strings being pulled behind it. The US government shut down for 4 days at the end of January. They told you it was about appropriations and funding bills. I'm telling you, it was a tactical pause to buy time. They needed to benchmark the lies of 2025 before the 2026 market completely unraveled. Today we get the January non-farm payrolls, and for the first time we get the annual revisions. This is the moment they admit that the exceptional economy they sold you last year was a statistical hallucination. We're going to break down exactly what to expect at 1:30 PM, why gold is holding the line at $5,075, and why you need to be ready for Friday the 13th. Now, let's be the voice of reason while the rest of the world panics. The mainstream media is going to give you a headline number. The consensus is around 70,000 jobs. To the 98%, that sounds like growth. To us, it sounds like a terminal stall. Remember, we're not giving you financial advice here. We're looking at the evidence to prevent you from making the mistakes the masses will make. The ADP figures we saw earlier were pathetic. Some reports saying as low as 22,000 jobs. When you see that kind of discrepancy, it tells you the private sector is already in a deep freeze. But here is the real story, the revisions. There is a very high probability that today's report will vanish up to 1 million jobs from the 2025 data. They do this every year, but in 2026, the stakes are different. If they admit they overreported 1 million jobs last year, it means the Federal Reserve has been keeping interest rates high based on fake data. It means the soft landing was a myth. While the 98% are waiting for the 1:30 PM number to decide if they should buy a tech stock, the 2% club is watching the gold to silver ratio. We're watching the exit doors. So let's look at the two paths this takes. Scenario 1. The figures come in better than expected. Let's say they print 120,000 or 150,000 jobs. If that happens, you're going to see a violent, short-covering bounce in the US dollar and the Dow. The algorithms will scream higher for longer, and the water Fed will be painted as the hero that doesn't need to cut rates yet. If you see a headline beat, watch gold. If gold dips towards 5,020 on a strong jobs report, that is the 98% selling their insurance to buy a burning building. For us, that isn't a sign of strength, it's a gift. A strong headline today, without addressing the downward revisions of the past, is a dead-cut bounce for the paper economy. The 2% club knows that a strong jobs report in a high inflation environment only means the crash will be harder when it finally hits the wall on Friday's CPI report. Now let's look at scenario 2. The figures miss. We get a print below 50,000, or heaven forbid, a negative number. If the headline is weak, and the revisions wipe out 2025's growth, the 1:30 PM window will be absolute chaos. You will see bond yields crater. You will see the 10-year yield dive because the market will realize the Fed is behind the curve again. In this scenario, gold doesn't just hold at $5,075. It attacks $5,150. Silver, which has been the sleeping giant, will likely blast through $85 and upwards. Why? Because a jobs miss today proves that the paper trap has snapped shut. If the government cannot produce jobs even after a shutdown-induced data reset, it means the productive economy is dead. This is where the 2% shine. While others are panicking about their 401ks, we are watching the gold to silver ratio. It's sitting at around 61 right now. If it starts to drop while prices rise, that is the silver sprint I've been telling you about for months. I want to take a second here to acknowledge something incredible. Over 50% of the traffic to this channel isn't coming from the YouTube algorithm. It's coming from you. It's coming from WhatsApp messages and SMS texts. The 2% Club is growing because you're taking these links and sending them to your friends and family who are still trapped in the 98% mindset. You're telling them, stop listening to the hype, listen to the reason. That dark social sharing is how we beat the system. The algorithm might be reticent to share the truth about the $38 trillion heist, but you aren't. Thank you for that. Keep driving that growth. We're on a mission to help people avoid the catastrophic mistakes that are coming in the next 24 months. But wait, because today is only the appetizer. The government shutdown didn't just move the jobs report to Wednesday. It moved the CPI inflation report to Friday, February the 13th. Think about the psychology of that. If we get a bad jobs report today and then a high inflation print on Friday, we're in the stagflation trap of the century. You cannot cut rates to save jobs if inflation is still screaming. That is why gold is at $5,075. It's not expensive. It's the only thing that isn't a lie. I'll be back here on Friday with a full breakdown of the CPI Friday the 13th disaster, and you're going to want to see how that connects to the gold to silver ratio. If you haven't subscribed yet, ask yourself why you're still waiting for the 98% to give you permission to be right. Now, before I go, a huge thank you to those who've given tips over the last 2 weeks. I see you and I appreciate you. I've had people ask why I do this, especially after a 10-year run and a brief break. It's because I'm on a mission. I want to be the ambassador for the 2% Club. I want to be the voice of common sense when everyone else is creating clickbait and panicking. Any money received from those tips goes directly into making this channel better. Better data, better analysis and more reach. I don't want to just tell you what's happening. I want to help you stay calm while others panic. That is the 2% way. We don't follow the herd. We lead our own lives. So here is the checklist for 1:30 today. 1. Watch the headline. Is it 70k? 2. Watch the revisions. Is 2025 being erased? 3. Watch the DXY, the dollar index. If the dollar falls, the heist is confirmed. And 4. Check your metals. Are you holding the physical or are you holding a promise? The $38 trillion heist isn't coming, it's here. And today's jobs report is just the ledger being balanced in public. Stay safe, stay calm, and I'll see you in the comments. Watch the video on the gold to silver ratio next, and also the ones showing on your screen now. It's the most important thing you'll see this week. Thank you for watching. See you soon.